It's another video from Ozzy's Robot. Brought to you by the Banana Collection. Hey everyone, welcome back and come on in. It's your favorite toy guy here with a candy something or other. Yes, it's a candy related toy, but before we get into it, as always, if it's morning where you happen to be at, grab your favorite drink. I'm assuming it's coffee if you're like me that needs to wake up with like a half a pot. Pour it, stir it, and clank it. Grab a snack and park your rear in the most comfy chair known to mankind. That's probably a Barco Lounger made with Corinthian leather. Now, with that out of the way, and by the way, in the afternoon where I am, I'm just drinking La Croche seltzer water. Before you think, well, he's healthy, isn't he? No, let me assure you. I had crappy, what did I have? A filet of fish sandwich. Probably the worst fish sandwich health-wise known to mankind, but I had one anyway. Because like I said, when I'm pulling in and it's late and I'm hungry and there's a McDonald's like 2 minutes away and it's like, oh no, do we stop at Mickey D's? And it's like, yes, killing me slowly with his food instead of killing me softly with his song. Anyway, we had a visitor at the collection, touring, guest, visitor, attendee, and he happens to be creating a book on ray guns. Now, you might be saying there are already books on ray guns. Well, there are, and he's going to make another one, so... And, the sad part is that I didn't have hardly any ray guns out. Now, I did have a little tiny glass display case that I finally unpacked, but this is after. And I took some of it didn't fit that many, especially with long boxes. Those long ray guns are freaking hard to display. They're not hard. They take up a lot of room, a lot of shelf space. So anyway, I put those there with the box. And I ran out of room very quickly. Half a dozen guns displayed on there. Tin toy guns algorithms of YouTube that has been censoring me like mad because I talked about a certain Disney Star Wars show that shall be nameless, and now their algorithms are in like full suppression mode. But it is what it is. But anyway, he brought up and showed me. And he asked me, do you have the Pez gun from the 50s? And I was like, Pez gun, you say, eh? And he showed me one on eBay, and it was pretty expensive. So I'm like, Pez gun, you say, eh? And it got my wheels cranking, and I said, let me look. Now, this came in a multitude of colors, and probably black would not have been my first choice. However, the one that he had showed me, I think, was blue. And one thing I like about the lighter colors is the embossing, which I will show you in a second. This was the only example that actually had the shipping box, believe it or not, and the original instructions. So before I show you this fine Bakelite weaponry, let me show you this. This was from the Taylor Reed Corporation, manufacturers of Cocoa Marsh. What the hell is Cocoa Marsh? Hey, Andrew, can you hear me? Yeah. Look up Cocoa Marsh. I don't know if it's a cereal, a drink. Cocoa Marsh from Glenbrook, Connecticut. So, back in the day, Ray Paul Schock, and now, is this like living in a simulation? Or is this really the person's name? Ray Paul Schock got a ray gun? Are you serious? And no zip code. So in the 1950s, this young fellow must have been eating or drinking Cocoa Marsh. And in Reading, Pennsylvania, he got this little box. What does it say about it? Let's see.
Something. Happy tummy, is it a medicine?
No, that can't be it. It has to be something child related, whether he redeemed it for this ray gun. Cocoa Marsh. No. Look at vintage Cocoa Marsh. Not Amazon. Not Amazon. So anyway, this is the original box that it came in. And Ray Paul Shock, if you're still with us today, let's see, in the let's say mid 1950s, which would have been about 70 years ago. And if he was like, I don't know, 8, he'd be 78. So let's hope that we could find Ray Paul. Ray Paul, you get a free visit to the collection if you're still around. Now, in the box, besides the gun, and again, I like this kind of stuff. I like the ephemera. It came with this instruction sheet. Now, let's see. Am I at 1 or 2? Look at this. Look at the diagram. Look at how thorough they were. Did you find anything, by the way?
Is it spelled like March, like the season?
M-A-R-S-H. So here's the exploded diagram. Let's see. Let's see what they call their weaponry back in the day.
Oh, here it is.
There we go. So here's Cocoa Marsh, by the way.
Chocolate milk?
Yeah, it's a chocolate Cocoa Marsh with that happy lion on it. I remember Bosco and Hershey syrup. And I think Nestle's. Did Nestle's make one? Possibly. So now we know what Cocoa Marsh was. Maybe I should find a Cocoa Marsh empty jar to put next to these. That would be pretty cool, huh? All right, so anyway, we have, this may not be legible, magazine, trigger assembly, muzzle cap, rear cap, lower peg, upper peg, pin of part 4, and the trigger hammer. Well, let me put that there. And then the butt cap. Place the gun on the table with the trigger, yada, 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 yada. So here's all your instructions. I'm not going to read all this. And then on the back, and look at this. Look at this. A gun permit. Pez space gun. How freaking cool is that? And the fact that this survived. It'd be nice if they put the year on there. And it shows you how to load it. Now, as a little one myself, I could tell you that I totally used to buy Pez. I used to buy Pez, and I enjoyed their chalky candies. And if there was like an cherry flavor, it probably was my favorite, cherry and grape. So I was a Pez fan. I would have all kinds of Pez dispensers. Anyway, here is the cool ray gun. Like I said, the dark sort of hides the emboss, but you can see there's a cool Saturn embossed on here. There's this cool rocket. And here's your Pez, which actually Pez is written out in the candies, if you haven't noticed that in the, I don't know, 75 years. There's a moon here. There's like some motion lines. And you got Pez over there. This is actually a very cool gun. Here's the other side. And then this sort of slides. It's sort of gooey, you know, like, surprised that this didn't fuse together. I was afraid that this would fuse. And if you remember, Pez came like in a cartridge, so you sort of fuse. Oh, is this going to come out now? The plastic, I should say. When I say fuse, here we go. So you pull out your cartridge. Ooh, we're not loading any candy in that thing. That looks pretty grimy in there. I don't even know if that's a piece of candy that's just sort of like, ugh, melted. That's gnarly. You see this, Andrew? Check this out. That looks like a candy in there or just a bunch of goop.
Oh, it must be old.
Ugh, gross. Does it say Pez on here? No. So you would load your candies into the magazine, put it in here. So this must be like sugar. I'm assuming I could probably clean this. Maybe I should. Maybe I'll let the cockroaches come and eat this and get poisoned. 75-year-old congealed Pez. And then the Pez containers themselves are actually dispensers. So you load your candy and then theoretically you pull the trigger and it would dispense your candy. Now, the more common Pez are the characters that you flip the head back and they would dispense your candy that way. So anyway, once I got to know about this cool Pez gun, and I mean, I may have heard about it in the periphery, but never really had the desire to get one. I thought it was pretty cool. So that, my friends, is a look at your very rare, original, boxed with instruction Pez dispensing ray gun from the 1950s. If you like this, do me a favor, thumb up the video. And if you haven't subscribed and you've made it this far in the video, please subscribe. That would be greatly appreciated. As always, thanks for your time, and I will talk to you later.